This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 188, 7 Ways to Avoid Overspending This Holiday Season by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. And I am Dan, your host and narrator here at Optimal Finance Daily, the podcast where I read to you each Monday through Friday from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And a reminder, I like to remind you guys every now and then that if you have any topic requests, maybe you've come across a blog that you've never heard us read here on the podcast, please let us know. Come to oldpodcast.com and share your topic requests and author requests with us. Now, on Monday, I read to you a post from Courtney Carver about saving for the holidays, so this is sort of like a continuation of that, and takes a look at it from the other angle, spending less during the holidays. If you want to hear Courtney's post, check out Minimalist Monday of this week. That was episode 186. And with that, let's hear today's post as we optimize your life. 7 Ways to Avoid Overspending This Holiday Season by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. According to a recent Gallup poll, Americans plan to spend an average of $830 on gifts this season. As the largest gift-giving holiday, the final months of the year account for nearly 20% of the total annual retail sales for retailers, making it the costliest season of the year for shoppers. This is not surprising. What is surprising is how much more money we spend during this season than any other. For context, shoppers spent $600 billion during the Christmas season last year. The next highest seasonal total was the back-to-school shopping season at $72 billion. In other words, on average, Americans spend 9 times the amount of money retail shopping during the Christmas season than any other season of the year. Unfortunately, however, when the calendar turns to January, the negative effects of this spending begin to set in. Higher than expected credit card statements, tighter finances than imagined, increased stress, and regret over the amount of money spent. So how can we avoid this January stress and regret? What steps can we take to avoid overspending during the holiday season? Here are 7 ideas. 1. Set a budget. Before the holiday shopping season even begins, decide how much money you want to spend. Think through all the different aspects of holiday shopping: gifts, travel, food, decorations. Divide your budget into the different categories. How much do you desire to spend on gifts? How much will travel cost? How many special events are on your calendar, and how much will they cost? If the numbers aren't lining up, what changes and/or sacrifices do you need to make? 2. Be aware of retail tricks. If merely creating a budget was the only thing needed to keep us within our spending limits, we'd be all set. Not just for the holidays, but for life. Unfortunately, this is rarely the case. Even with budgets firmly established, many of us overspend. One reason this happens is because retail stores are shockingly good at getting us to part with our money. Loyalty cards, retail credit, decoy pricing, loss leader, think Black Friday, incentives to return to the store, constant sales, all of these represent tricks that retail outlets employ to get us to part with our money. Be on the lookout for them, especially during the holiday season. 3. Limit self-gifting. One of the most significant holiday trends over recent years is the increase in self-giving, people treating themselves to presents when they are out shopping for others. Nearly 60% of people are now self-gifting according to the National Retail Federation. We will spend, on average, $130 per person buying gifts for ourselves. To avoid overspending this holiday season, limit yourself in this regard. P.S. Be careful when purchasing gift cards. 72% of shoppers also do some shopping for themselves when going to a store or website to purchase a gift card. 4. Cut down on convenience costs. Some of the most hidden costs of the holiday season are convenience expenses. The holiday season throws us out of our usual family rhythms by adding extra responsibilities and activities. As a result, the price we are willing to pay for convenience begins to rise. Sometimes it is just easier to order fast food when running late for an appointment or getting a pizza for the kids if we need to attend the office holiday party. In addition, all of the time spent shopping often leads to other unnecessary purchases: expensive coffee drinks, pretzels, smoothies, just to name a few. These expenses appear minor, but over the course of a month, because of the latte factor, they add up quickly. 5. Establish expectations early. If you decide to cut down on the number of Christmas gifts you'll be giving this holiday season, it is important to establish those expectations early. For example, for our kids at Christmas, they receive 3 gifts from us: one thing they want, one thing they need, and one experience to share with the family. But it wasn't always this way. When they were younger, before we decided to pursue minimalism, we used to buy them a lot more gifts at Christmas. Therefore, when we decided to make the changes to our gift-giving habits, we took some time to inform them about it. Similarly, if you intend to take a new gift-giving approach to your extended family, it's helpful to inform them early about your decision and why you decided to make it. 6. Look for shortcuts to make travel cheaper. For some families, one of the largest expenses of the holiday season is travel. This is certainly true for our family of 4 as we travel back to the Midwest each Christmas. Being together as a family to celebrate the season is important to us, and it is important to many others as well. And while there are always going to be expenses incurred while traveling, we can still look for ways to limit them, shop around airlines and travel dates, avoid baggage fees by packing light, pack meals for on the go, and do your research on hotel costs, just to name a few. 7. Track spending. One key component to wise financial stewardship is to track your spending on a daily basis. This is true for life, but is absolutely essential to avoid overspending during the holiday season. If you have set your budget thoughtfully, tip number 1, it is important to pursue due diligence in staying inside it. Because of the extra shopping during the season, the importance of tracking your spending during the month of December cannot be overstated. And you do not need fancy software or materials to accomplish this step. It can be completed with a simple piece of paper and pen. At the end of each day, just record the items you spent money on that day and compare it regularly with the budget you created. Avoiding overspending during the holiday season may not be easy. It certainly requires extra time and effort. But trust me, your January you will thank you for it. You just listened to the post titled 7 Ways to Avoid Overspending This Holiday Season by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. Now, if you're enjoying this show here and want to help keep this going for as long as possible, there are all sorts of things you can do to help, big and small, and they'll make a huge impact. So we put together a list over at oldpodcast.com. Just look for the How to Help page, or you can go directly to oldpodcast.com/support. That's oldpodcast.com/support. We greatly appreciate it. Tomorrow we'll hear an interesting perspective from our newest author to join the show, Sam of Financial Samurai. So stay tuned for that, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more, from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.